Welcome to Deep Thought. We got chipped anyway. Oh my goodness. You know what? I was in a dollar store yesterday, local dollar store and whatnot, right? And I think, what was I getting? Oh yeah, I was just getting some wrapping stuff for gifts. I'm like, I'm not paying a lot if I don't have to, right? So I'm in there chilling and, pay for my stuff. I noticed I get a notification on my phone. It was talking about some deals at dollar store, which to me was funny in itself because I knew somebody who had worked at a dollar store, and she said she was clowning a dude who was coming in there looking for a sale. But apparently they do have some deals. But I'm like, wait a minute. How does know I was in a dollar store? Like, I ain't seen that before. I'd be in an IHOP or I'd be in a shopping plaza and I get some notification or something, right, about it. Or if I'm going on Instagram or something, it automatically knows where I'm at, and that's cool and whatnot, right? But then I thought about the dollar store thing, because sometimes I'll see stuff and I'll just file it away for later because I'm busy doing something. I don't think about the significance of it. And I'm sure a lot of people, they since I'm late in getting in some of this technology and stuff, I'm a late adopter. I was like, only get stuff when I need to. The burner phone still works. But one thing I determined at that moment when I really pondered the meaning of that dollar store thing, I'll probably be getting some more minutes for my burner phone and will probably keep it. I actually travel with both. The reason why, I'm like, wait a minute. They can effectively track me any place. And I don't think a lot of people don't realize that. They always saying check in, or, if you're on a smartphone, they don't even need to do all that. At least the one I got. I don't know. Maybe other smartphones ain't that advanced. You get a real cheap one or something. Maybe they don't do that. Whatever the case. Now, I remember back in the day, right? When I really started getting into the conspiracy stuff, because you don't get into any level of consciousness without going through the hardcore conspiracy stuff. In fact, usually the conspiracy stuff is what introduces you to stuff. Because a lot of this reading and a lot of the stuff I did it was funny. I got a story behind that, right? Yeah, even on this channel, I got a story. I was going out on a date with this young lady, right? And if you from DC, our big thing is go-go music, right? That go-go beat and everything. So I was going out with this young lady, going to pick her up, right? And we weren't going to a go-go, but she wanted to eventually go to a go-go like club or something, right? Not that night, but at some point. So I said, look, I'm gonna be nice to her, right? I'm gonna put on a go-go station. So I put on the go-go station, right? And instead of hearing go-go, I heard this gentleman talking. His name was Steve Coakley, right? If you in the black conscious, that section of the black conscious community, you know who I'm talking about. Rest in peace, Baba. Steve Coakley. And he was talking about, that's the first time I heard the term Illuminati. And that's when I started dipping into some stuff. Right, that started me. So a lot of people, their introduction was in all this conspiracy stuff, right? And one of the main conspiracies was that they wanted to microchip people. I mean, they were talking about that. I think they were talking about that. I think some dude mentioned that even before I heard Coakley, because when did I talk Coakley? I first heard him about 92 or 93. And I think somebody had mentioned chipping people. They could track everything, have all your information. And some people will say, you don't have to be chipped. Resist it. You know what? I bet you still got some people, they still on that whole conspiracy theory scene, because it is a scene. And I guarantee they're like, yeah, I'll never get chipped. And then all of a sudden they get that notification on their phone. Hold up, let me check this. In fact, some of those, I've seen some conspiracy dudes. Yeah, they more plugged in. I mean, they'll have the smartphone, computers, everything, web pages. And I'm like, I'm like, well done. The they. Actually, this brother who wrote a book, his name is Black Dot, and he wrote about the real life matrix, and he called the people controlling it the theys, because you know how we always say they, right? Yeah. They put one over on us. I'm like, they'll have to chip people. They chipping people now. Don't get that twisted. But the thing is, they don't have to chip people now. Because one, they know your buying habits. They can really track, if they need to track somebody just by their smartphone, they can track them from their like bathroom. They can track if you use your not track phone, but if you use your smartphone in a bathroom, they can track you from there, where you drive, in every place. You know, like that GPS. I mean, that just killed me one time when I had to drive out of town for a vending show, and I was just looking at it. That could follow I stopped at a gas station. That thing even followed the turns out of the gas station. I'm like, oh my goodness. And, it's a real convenient and everything. But I thought about, like, what they really need to chip you for? Because now they got programs, they got apps now that can check your blood pressure. I thought about getting one of them, but I don't like ads. I can't stand ads. So if it got and it's just, ain't no conspiracy behind that liking ads. I don't like opening my screen and seeing, like, some vacation offer or something like that. But I'm like, man, they could tell it, and I mean, they already got stuff they can like pretty much track how many steps you making and all of that. They don't need to chip you. That's what's killing me. They don't need to chip you now. You voluntarily giving them the information, which is how they do it anyway. They don't force anything. See, a lot of people, like especially all the old conspiracy theorists, thought, oh yeah, they were going to force something on you. I'm like, they don't need to. They don't need to force. They don't need to have guns or mind control. They don't need to do anything ominous. Use all that technology from Area 51 and stuff. They need not do any of that. All they have to do is market it. And in fact, I'm going to tell you a way they market it too. A real slick way they market stuff like that, right? All you have to do is put it in a TV show, popular TV show. Like, there's a TV show I watch. Yeah, I love some science fiction. I was watching The Expanse, right? It's a sci-fi. It's probably one of the best sci-fi television shows I've ever seen. Because it's just very realistic. You don't have lasers and stuff shooting in space. They got bullets and political intrigue and everything. It got a little bit of everything, right? But I remember a scene in one of the early episodes, right? It was a Martian spaceship, because in The Expanse, the Martians, they got their own republic, and they stopped, the quote-unquote good guys, and they do mean quote-unquote good guys, right? And they were checking each one of them, and all they did was run, like, a little scanner by each of their necks, and all their information was in there. That's how they'll do it. I mean, and people who remember the 24 series, they would be chipped. So they'll do it that way. They'll do it subtle. So then when you come up and say, hey, let us chip you, boom. And trust me, they'll come up with something. I mean, I'm already seeing some stuff about, smart wearable stuff. Like glasses and I guess they already got watches. Something else. I was looking at it in a magazine just real quick this morning. But, it's going to advance. And then, trust me, they'll get it in there. And you know what? I'm gonna say something. Conspiracy theorists and stuff. They gonna excommunicate me for saying this. It don't really got nothing to do with controlling people. Let me say that again. It has nothing really to do with. It ain't like they trying to turn you into zombies. They just want to know where you're gonna buy something. Like if I had an idea. Look, just people know I got my books and everything. If I had a real idea. Which people, just from any readings, like from their smartphones or for some chips, who are going to buy my books, and I had the money to afford that information, I would know where to market and everything. A lot of it is just economics. If that's why they got all those cards and everything in grocery stores. Everybody has some type of scan card, and they give you some points. They use that's economic because then they know what to buy. If they got a bunch of people buying brown eggs, all of a sudden that location will see a bunch of brown eggs or something like that. Like I say, it's not ominous. You just know what to focus on. And it's actually more efficient for business. See, a lot of stuff out here isn't like on some big matrix thing. It's business. Always follow the money. I noticed the Deep Thought channel, and a lot of people get all into the philosophy and everything, but remember, it's all connected to the money. So, with that dollar store thing, dollar store. Well, yeah, the dollar store thing just really made me look at that. Because I'm going to tell you what, if I have to go off grid, I would be like, boom, I'll put my phone someplace, and they probably got I think they got they do got GPS in later model cars and stuff. I'd have to go totally whatever. And you know what? I'm gonna just say something. I'm gonna say something about all of that tracking, because you got groups out there talking about they ready to fight the U.S. government and stuff, and for our rights and everything. I'm like, other than drones and gunships taking them out, what kind of communication system you gonna use? Because rest assured, even though I talked about a burner phone, I'm willing to bet if they have to, they can track a burner phone. In fact, they can, really. Even if you turn off something, they could probably track them anyway. So it's like, okay, using this communication system, you probably, they've already said they monitor, and they can monitor all communications any damn way. Do you know you would almost have to go back to the to the 1800s to really stay invisible in this system? Like you couldn't use a car because that can be tracked. They probably, just through the computer and stuff, especially the later model ones. Or you had to get a real old model car to drive around. You can't use any cell phone technology, because it cracked me up, because I was watching something on some channel, one of these patriot groups or something. All of them got those smartphones. I'm like, duh. It's like, what? It's like somebody could like track you down, send some drones, take you out from the comfort of some office while they eating some Cheetos. That's how deep it is. I was like, come on, y'all. Come on. Like, if hypothetically, I'm saying this hypothetically for the 3 or 4 people assigned to watch Brother Rom, or that special nickname y'all call me, they call me. They have a special nickname for me, y'all, trust me. To track colorful individuals such as myself. Anyway, right? If Brother Rom hypothetically would say, look, here's how we do things. If I had some organization, I'd be like, first of all, one of the main things I'd be training is couriers. I would put nothing electronic, wouldn't even, only way, I would have to find some computer experts who can like put together something that's, some type of old program and stuff that you could still use that's not connected to the internet. You'd have to go back, because even like laptops and new stuff now, you got to connect to the internet just to download programming for it. Download Windows and stuff. You just can't get something. You can't even like get that old disc and everything. So you had to go back, and you had to have couriers, old ass cars. And you just have to basically, you got some of these groups talking about taking on like a system with technology that some of which they got and they just gradually introducing. And then it's like, wait a minute, you trying to use the same technology? Nah, dog, that don't work. Nah, you had to go back. You had to be invisible. But right now, though, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't doing nothing. They can track me. I don't really care. It ain't like I'm still not gonna buy something if I don't want to buy it. But nah, that's how deep it is. And that's the irony of it. I'm looking at my smartphone right now, and I'm like, damn. I said I wasn't gonna get chipped. They got the next best thing. And I'm laughing about it, but it's some real stuff. It's some real stuff, and it's something to think about. If somebody has an agenda for something, they gonna figure out a way. So you have to be smart about it. Like I said, if I need to stay invisible, I keep 2 phones. And I keep tracking off of my burner phone. So, it would take them a while to like figure out, oh, okay, this is Rom's burner phone. So I'm going to keep that. I was just going to let the minutes go out, but I'm just like, nah, I might need to be invisible. Plus, we got a ton of people who still got that number. So anyway, right, that's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.